Welcome to Kutch Time. The day is November 12th, 2025, and the Detroit Pistons just beat the Chicago Bulls 124 to 113 to move to 10-2 on the NBA season. The depleted Detroit Pistons roster fended off a fourth quarter comeback where it saw a 23-point lead get dwindled down all the way to two. They won thanks to a 28-point double-double by Paul Reed and a 7 three-pointer game by Duncan Robinson. There was a lot to like tonight from the Detroit Pistons. Paul Reed, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 threes. This is probably easily one of the best, if not the best, Paul Reed game has ever had in the NBA. Yes, he's had a game. His career has 30 points. But I don't think even in that game he had a resume as good as today and played as important of role as he did today. I mean, this guy was everywhere, and he was a real reason the Pistons didn't choke the game like they were wanting to in the fourth quarter. I mean, they could buy a bucket. Paul Reed comes in and ends up saving the day, unless let's go on a run to build a lead back. I mean, he was just everywhere, defensively, offensively. He just couldn't be stopped. I mean, Paul Reed, he had 2 3-pointers, and that's kind of surprising probably to a lot of fans. But Paul Reed has really developed a decent shot. You really see it a couple times in the mid range and very rarely in three. But the Bulls left him open today because he probably wasn't in the scouting report, or at least this heavily. And so they let him shoot, and he knocked the two down. And he's a very good center, and Pistons are very lucky to have him as a third string center because he easily be a decent backup center on most teams. Duncan Robinson had a hot first half. He was making everything. I think he had three or four 3-pointers in the first quarter alone. He finished with 23 points. It was 7 of 10 from the 3-point line. It was his best 3-point shooting night for the Pistons this whole season. And I mean, obviously so. I mean, he had a big role, big scoring role. So many people are out tonight. So many scores are out tonight. It's like, who's going to have the hot hand? Duncan Robinson was the only guy who started in the first game of the NBA season for the Detroit Pistons and who was healthy to play tonight. So he had a big role to step up, and he stepped up heavily. If he didn't have those runs of streaky 3-point shooting, I mean, he only missed 3 tonight, but making a couple in a row on back-to-back possessions, I mean, Pistons are probably not in this because the Bulls are a good team as well. I mean, they also had some guard injury of Josh Giddey and Kobe White, but still, they have Nikola Vucevic, they have Matas Buzelis. They have a good some more experienced guys and just a better team, especially with how many injuries we have right now. If it was healthy versus healthy, I'd take the Pistons. But today, going into it, I was not thinking the Pistons were going to win this game, let alone by double digits. Danish Jenkins, he had an amazing night Monday night, forcing the game to overtime. He had another great night tonight. He had 18 points and 12 assists. This is a man who is no reason he's not on a real NBA contract at this point. After 2 games, yes, it's 2 games. But he's shown, even under pressure, even under the telescope now, that he can perform at a high level. He started tonight. He's on a 2-way contract. I mean, he's the Pistons signed Isaac Jones to a normal NBA contract about a week ago. You can waive him. We don't need him. The Pistons aren't going to use him tonight. If we're going to use him, we're using him tonight with so many injuries. He didn't get a single minute. We ended up using Bobby Klitman instead, and the minutes he could have potentially played. And so Danish Jenkins on this 2-way, if you leave him on the 2-way, he has to be. He can only play so many minutes. He can only play so much time. Danish Jenkins is a very usable backup point guard. With all the guard depth problems we have right now, Cade will come back first. Cade was questionable going into the day. But once Cade comes back, Dennis Jenkins should be a backup point guard and should play probably decent, consistent minutes until we see Ivy or Sasser come back. And even with Ivy coming back, I think Dennis Jenkins could easily take that Sasser role. I think he's proven himself a much better point guard than Marcus Sasser is. Even though Marcus Sasser was the first-round pick a couple years ago, and Danish Jenkins was undrafted and is, again, on a 2-way contract. Danish Jenkins has done everything to prove that he is worthy of a standard NBA contract that the Pistons should utilize on him because Isaac Jones' contract also isn't guaranteed. So he would be an easy cut for the Pistons to make Danish Jenkins' contract probably like a cheaper like couple year deal, which we've seen the Thunder do multiple times over the years, and it's worked out tremendously for them. Like guys like Lou Dort, AJ Mitchell, those are guys that have switched from 2-way contracts to longer deals off the two-way, and they're nice deals for the team because they're cheap, because it's kind of like homegrown talent. It's like you drafted the player, you didn't draft him, but it's just you're the guy who got him on a two-way deal. Karis LeVert has had a pretty good stretch of games. This is his fourth game in a row of double-digit points, and I kind of trashed him a little bit ago, probably about a week ago at this point, that he needed to get his stuff together, and he has gotten his stuff together. I mean, yeah, I mean he's been a lot better this stretch. I mean, and we've needed him to be, because with all the injuries, we need that scoring bug off the bench, and Karis LeVert has now been that. He's been a good spark, and that's the role he was expected to play, and that's the role he's being able to play now. Um, Obviously, there's still bad in this game. Ron Holland, he's had a kind of a rough stretch right now. He's started the past 3 games, and not any game I consider was a good game for him. He had a positive plus minus today, but that's about all of it. Positive. He shot 4 for 11 from the field today, and he didn't make a three. But I think the main problem with Ron Holland, he's a streaky shooter right now. So if he's hot, he's hot. If he's cold, he's cold. Um, and it's very apparent. He likes to force up shots, and he likes to he's a good finisher most of the time, but his decision making sometimes is not the smartest. So a lot of times he'll just drive in the paint, and if he doesn't feel like he can get a good shot off, he's going to try and draw a foul. But Ron Howard doesn't really have the respect enough from the refs to draw fouls at a consistent rate. So at the times he's shooting a contested layup, and he misses terribly. And really never had a chance to go in, and he's doing that a lot, and that's kind of why he's been benched a lot. He was the only starter other than Duncan Robinson not play 30, and the only reason Duncan Robinson didn't play 30 minutes tonight is because he fouled out of the game. He would have probably passed 30, and then Ron Howard would have been left out. Ron Howard got benched Monday too. He played only he didn't maybe like 25 games Monday night after starting. Bobby Clintman, he has 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 threes. But the main thing with Bobby, he's just not a good defensive player. He doesn't have a good defensive IQ. He had a plus minus of a negative 11 today, and the big reason why he was fouling guys. There was this one 3-pointer. I think it was either Kevin Herther or Matas Buzelis. They faked. I don't even know. They faked it, or I don't even know they faked it. There was a 3-pointer, and he was so far away, but he ends up all of his momentum jumping, and he fouls the 3-pointer. The guy misses it, but he has three free throws, and he knocks it all down. I think it was Matas, and it's just not a smart play. Like at that point, if you're so far away and the guy's going to shoot the 3-pointer, he's going to make it or he's going to miss it. Your shot is not going to affect him, and you're not going to have time to get a good contest without controlling your momentum and not being able to foul him. Because at that point, you're going to foul unless you get a block. But even at the block moment, I still think it will be called a foul, especially in today's league. So he just and I think the next possession too, he fouled a layup driver, and it just wasn't good. It wasn't a good stretch for him. Then he kind of got sat for a little bit until a little bit in the fourth quarter. Um, and then obviously the worst thing for the Pistons right now is just how many injuries we had today. Basically, the entire projected starting lineup is hurt. So projected starting lineup for the whole season was Cade, Ivy, Asar, Tobias, Dern. Every single one of those players sat tonight. Our 6-man sat tonight. Isaiah Stewart is our 6-man. He sat tonight. And then Marcus Asher too, who's like 10th, 11th man of the team. But it's hard to win like that. It's hard to play consistent ball without your real players. And some of these injuries are more serious than others. Cade and Dern, I expect to be back. Dern was probable and then got ruled out. Cade was questionable. Asar and Stu were both ruled out pretty early on into the process. And then Tobias is obviously hurt. Ivy's still out, and Satcher are still out. And they'll be out for a little bit. Schedules keeps going, games keep going, but we're not having our guys. I mean, we're 10-2, so we have built ourselves a good coach. We're first in the East. But if these guys don't get healthy and don't get fully healthy, if they're forced to play like at 60%, 75%, it's gonna visually be apparent, and teams are going to take advantage of that and beat us and bad teams will beat us on games that we should easily win. Especially, we are a good roster, we are a good team. It's just if injuries pile up so much, it's hard to put the roster and the IQ all together and the intangibles all together. to put out winning basketball. Next game is Friday night against the Philadelphia 76ers. It is the second NBA Cup for the Pistons. That's why I think guys like Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren will be back, because it's a bit more of an important game. There's a bit more to fight for. There's some cash on the line. But guys like Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson, those are more like going to play it by ear guys. Those are more serious injuries compared to Duren and Cade's, who were more. Cade was questionable going into today. Duren was probably going in today. Asar and Stewart both ruled out pretty early on to the process of the injury report. So hopefully they can win that. Hopefully they can move it to an All NBA Cup. If not, then kind of write the NBA Cup off because it's kind of going to go undefeated like we saw last year. And the 76ers are getting more healthier by the day. Paul George should be getting back pretty soon. I don't know if he'll be healthy for Friday's game, but he'll be back by probably next week. And the 76ers will probably be a bit better with them. So hopefully we can win that. And then thank you for watching.